run my own business and YouTube channel, and these are my following productivity hacks to help save you more time. If you're an entrepreneur, you want to start your own business, and you feel like you don't have any time, let me tell you, you actually do, and these are the tips that are going to help you gain those extra minutes in your day. I'm going to share the following tips. This video is brought to you by Dashlane. Stay tuned till later in the video for more about that, and let's go first back to my office so we can tell you all the productivity hacks a little bit easier. Welcome back to New York. This is not my office, but rather a beautiful mural right nearby. Oftentimes the streets of New York are my office when it comes to doing videos, so found this awesome mural. I've actually featured it once before. If you can name that video, wow, I am impressed. But anyways, let's get back into it. Okay, so tip number one is saying no. This sounds like the easiest thing ever, but saying no to projects that might come your way but might not be the perfect fit is one of the hardest things, especially when you're starting out on your entrepreneurial journey. One of my favorite YouTubers, Matt D'Avella, just did an entire video about this, and Matt talks a lot about minimalism and, limiting things that might be distracting in general, whether it be digitally or physically in your life. And I think it's so important to say no. I could do a whole video about it, I could talk for hours about it, but the point is, if an opportunity is not worth your time, you gotta say no, especially in the beginning when you are used to saying yes to a lot of different things that come your way. You get to a point, and it's a turning point for everyone at a different time for everyone, when you basically realize, okay, this would be great exposure, maybe it's a good clip, but if in the end it's not really worth the amount of time I'd be putting into it for the amount of money I'd be getting out of it, then it's a distraction, it's not good for the long term. This is, it totally depends on the person, your financial situation at the time, everything like that. One of the turning points in my career was figuring out what is my rate. So creating an actual rate card that you stick to and saying, okay, if this is worth so many hours of my time, which equals $500, I am not going to do any deals that are less than $500. And figuring that out for yourself, whatever that number is, whatever that amount of hours is so crucial to make sure that you are not wasting your time doing projects that are not worth it. So it depends on the person, depends on the situation, but definitely do that math, figure out, okay, if I do this many projects in a year, that equals this, and my goal is to make this much amount of money in a year. Divide that by the number of months and weeks and hours and figure out what is my actual hourly rate. Even if it's freelance, even if you're not normally paid by hour, figure out based on that new hourly rate that you've calculated in your head, figure out, okay, if I'm not getting this much worth out of a project that cost me this many hours of my time, that's when you will need to start saying no more often. Okay, now on to the next one. Number two, do the task you don't want to do first. It sounds super basic and so easy, but this is something I constantly struggle with and I wish I was better at. But basically, if there is a task that you really don't want to do, you got to do that first in the day, get it done early so that the rest of the day you can relax and say, okay, I've earned this time, I can actually do the things I want to do, the creative, fun stuff. I will totally get lost in a creative, fun edit for a video and then not email a client back that I need to email back. And I'm like, what am I doing? That's the one thing I should have done first. And it just helps me to get that stuff done. No one wants to deal with, okay, well, I have to write it up a certain way, I have to make an invoice, I have to do tax stuff. No one wants to do that stuff, but if you get it done first, it makes the rest of the day so much easier and you achieve a lot more in the long term. Number three, goals over to-do lists. Sometimes you're in a job for long enough, you kind of get caught up into, okay, I'm just gonna do my to-do list for today, my to-do list for today, my to-do list for this week. And oftentimes you can go a year without thinking about the bigger goals if you are, not thinking bigger picture. And that is a terrible trap to get caught into. And it's something that I've, learned with time is to make sure that your to-do list, those little lists that you do every single day, are helping you achieve those bigger goals. So start big, think really big picture. Okay, I want to write a book by this time or whatever it is. And then you have to do the math and figure out, well, in order to do that, I need to do research. I need to plan out. I need to write every single day for an hour. And then add that to your to-do list and check that off. And then once you've sort of checked off these little things that build up into a bigger thing, that's when you can really start achieving those bigger goals for your business. And honestly, just feel more accomplished than just crossing off little things on a to-do list, because getting those emails out and sent oftentimes doesn't get you very much farther, and you want to make sure you're thinking bigger picture. When you are making these goals, it is really crucial to make sure that each goal is SMART, S-M-A-R-T, which stands for specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and timely. All of your goals should be very specific. So not just, I want to do this big general thing. Make sure that they are also timely. Give it a deadline and give it little deadlines on your way to the bigger deadline so that you're actually held accountable. One thing that a lot of people don't talk about is I like to put my goals sort of in front of my face so that I'm always reminded of, oh, remember when I said I was going to do that? I need to make sure that I'm doing it. I don't want to check in 1 year later and say, oh, I completely forgot that was a goal at all. I want to actually be, sticking to it and reminded of it regularly so that I can actually achieve it. One thing that I've done to help remind me of these goals is to actually make a vision board. It sounds super cheesy, I know, but I actually loved it. I made a vision board for my apartment last year. I made a vision board for my life of what I wanted it to be. And in the very center, I actually put a quote that I found, all of these quotes on like Pinterest and stuff like that. One of them, it said, never be so busy making a living that you forget to make a life. And a lot of different little words that embodied all of this to me, which was balance, focus on friends, on family, on, loved ones, all these different things. Find some photos online, digitally, or it can be pulled out of a magazine, whatever you want to do. Just try to figure out, what do you want your life to look like in a year or whatever that a time might be for you, and then keep a reminder of it very close by so that you can constantly see it. For me, I actually put it on the back of my phone screen so that basically whenever I'm like looking at my apps, I can see it behind there and I'd be like, oh, have I done that? Ooh, I want to, think about that thing. So it's just been helpful for me. Number 4, the 80-20 rule, or the Pareto Principle. This basically states that 80% of your results stem from 20% of your actions, which is so crazy and so true when you really think about it. One of my friends actually spun this and said you should spend 20% of your time creating and 80% of your time marketing, which is such an amazing and such a smart way to do it. If you actually spend 80% of your time sending those emails to make sure people know what you're creating and can see your work, then you would have so many more eyeballs and so much more success in the long term, because unfortunately in today's world there's just so much noise out there. It's hard to find awesome creatives. So if you're spending all your time creating and not enough time marketing, no one will know and see your work. So figuring out that right percentage, that right ratio finding the right ratio for you is difficult, and 80% of it on marketing might be impossible for some people. But if you can just sort of get a little bit closer to that, I think then you're definitely doing something right. I definitely don't spend 80% of my time marketing and sending those emails because it's not the fun stuff, but I'm trying to be better about it, and I'm constantly trying to increase that ratio as time goes. Thank you, loud truck, for being so loud. What the heck? Why is it so loud? It's like moving slower to say hi. Okay, it just wants to stare at me. Thank you. Okay, great. Gotta love it. It's like they've never seen someone talk to a camera before. I don't get it. They've definitely seen this. Keep moving. Come on, come on. Number 5, use apps to save you time and money. Thank you so much to my sponsor, Dashlane, which is a super helpful password manager, also has a built-in VPN. I highly recommend it. You can support my channel by clicking the link down below to try premium for free for 30 days. And then if you enjoy it and you want to sign up, you can sign up with my code, which is just my name, Jennifer O'Brien, no apostrophe, no space, just Jennifer O'Brien. Just to clarify, this app is free for mobile and for desktop, but if you are interested in some of the premium features, which are some of my favorite features, then you will want the premium. And those features are, drumroll please, you can store encrypted photos like scans of your passport or insurance cards. Dashlane has a built-in VPN so you can browse safely and securely on unsecured Wi-Fi networks. It makes it easy to share password access to vendors, family, friends without actually sharing the exact password. The past 2 years, I've used a couple of different password managers, and it is just such an easy way to keep your life digitally safe, secure, and also I completely forget passwords all the time, and I'm constantly clicking forgot password, and it adds sometimes, extra 20 minutes to just log into something that I needed for 5 seconds. So I'm actually the worst at this. As a content creator, I have subscriptions to so many different services, from Adobe, where I create, in Photoshop, Premiere, things like that. I'll actually create my content, but then I also use little tiny apps for my Insta stories. I also use music for my videos, like Epidemic Sound, which I love, link down below. I do all of these different things that help me create what I'm creating, but they all have different logins, and if I had to remember every single password, I never would. I would have to constantly be clicking forgot password, which I used to do. So it saves me so much time because I have over 50 accounts for social media and different services that I use regularly, and I counted it recently. It's absurd. And I don't have time to remember all those passwords, and to use the same password over and over again is not safe. So using something like this has saved me so much time and just made my life as a creator so much easier. I hope you enjoyed this video. It is a totally new angle for me and this channel. It is a lot of the behind the scenes that I'm constantly doing, but not always thinking about and articulating in video, because running a business, running a YouTube is really hard. So if you're interested in learning more about the behind the scenes of what it's like to run your own YouTube channel and business and all these sorts of hacks that can save you time and money, let me know. If you want more of this, I will totally make more videos like this, even just all the apps that I have logins to. So I was thinking maybe like, you know, best apps for mobile, best apps for editing Insta stories, because I have that many apps on my phone just for editing Insta stories. If you're interested in any of this or even more, if you have other angles, let me know in the comments down below. Thank you so much for watching and supporting this channel. It seriously means the world to me. Okay, let's do the outro back in California, and then let's come back. I don't know which one, which way. You tell me. What do you want? Maybe both? Okay, let's do both. And we are back here in sunny California, out of my office in the cold winter of New York. And I just wanted to say thank you for watching. Keep watching, there's a ton more videos. As always, say yes to new adventures, and I'll see you next time. Bye. I did it. Okay, and my alarm is gonna go off in 1 minute. I gave myself a certain amount of time to get this done, and my alarm is legit. It's gonna go off in 1 minute because I'm good at my time. I give myself a specific measurable goal that had a deadline.